For a family that's been in the beauty supply business for 10 years, what cameras caught happening inside their North Houston Uptown Beauty Supply store on Kirkendall on March 17th was hard to stomach.
First time here.
The store's owner, Jung Kim, was assaulted, punched in the face, but it's what she says they said in the process that caught her off guard.
You Asian? Chinese pop?
She says there were 5 women who came into the store and claims they knocked over some wigs.
5 women. And again, notice the trend. This liberal fake news reporter is so afraid to identify the attacker's race or skin color.
Asked them not to play around, and on the way out, her son claims he heard them say this.
Asian people should be in the black market. Like, we're not selling like the wigs or something like that because we're the Asian. That's what they're saying.
Less than a minute later, the women came back, and that's when the punches started flying, and his mother knocked to the floor. Now 2 of the women are arrested. 22-year-old DeQuisha Williams.
This time, somebody tried to stop the attackers because these are all Asians. Asians tend to help each other. I don't know about the subway attack, okay, if there were Asians. But this one,
with assault,
this is a predominantly Asian place, okay, owned by an Asian
Young, charged with aggravated assault for trying to run them over in the parking lot.
I am not sure it's a racial motivated, but one thing I can tell, always like, no matter what, like racial or anti-Asian or like the racism, no matter what, the violence is not alright.
We checked with Houston police and the DA. Neither agent.
I love this comment from this guy. Few months ago, they said Black Lives Matter. And remember the audacity, the manipulative behavior, the psychopath behavior of this black and white liberals. So if you're gonna say Asian lives matter, if it were you know a few months ago, like last year, if you're gonna say Asian lives matter, they're gonna call you racist. They're gonna call you racist because you're not supposed to say Asian lives matter or all lives matter, because according to their worldview, this manipulative, evil, psychopathic liberals, especially the white Democrats and liberals, according to them, only Black lives matter. Okay, if you don't believe that Black lives matter, you're racist. They've been saying that for months into the election and into 2020.
He is calling this.
So it's really revolting what they're doing, and this one again as well.
Disgusting. I don't think that there ever been.
Oh my God.
And not felt since the Japanese-American internment camps during.
I'm going to include the trend. So the trend is, again, a black attacker with Asian victim in broad daylight. In liberal America, no one would like to help, and reporters and the fake news media in America refuse to identify the attacker's skin color, ethnicity, or race. Because why? Political correctness.
War II. High unemployment and boycotts of businesses have ravaged their communities. As Wisha Zhang reports, there is also a disturbing trend of racist attacks.
Oh my God.
These are the kinds of attacks Asian Americans have faced this year.
Every disease has ever came from China. Everything comes from China. It's disgusting.
I don't think that there had ever been a time where I was scared or fearful of my life because of my race.
26-year-old Victor Yang says he will never forget that day in March when a bike ride with his girlfriend on these familiar Maryland trails ended with a frantic call for help.
DC 911.
Hi, right now I'm on the bike trail. I've had the kids chasing us going off.
What was shocking was these individuals kept on following us.
Imagine biking and someone is throwing rocks at you because you're an Asian. Alright? You're an Asian in a liberal and Democrat city or state. And the attacker is a black guy.
correcting us, saying coronavirus, COVID-19.
What happened to Yang is one of over 2,800 hate incidents reported against Asian Americans across the country since the pandemic started 7 months ago, a nearly 845% increase compared to all the reported cases in the last 3 years combined.
Asian American hate is as old as American.
This guy is a moron, you know. He's a
83-year-old
liberal.
actor and
I don't believe this guy is a
is
hypocrite.
4 years old when
You know, he's a hypocrite. He
Harbour
may
was
be
attacked in
a popular
1941.
actor from Japan, but
This country was
he's
swept
part of the problem. He's part of the liberal problem in America. Okay? And
by
you know, as what CNN would say, the leak or release footage of CNN by Project Veritas exposing CNN bias, okay? And they were exposing this CNN executive or news director who said that, you know, we're simply gonna include people who's gonna say things that we want people to hear. And this is exactly the reason why this Japanese actor was included by this fake news artist, because the news reporter knows that, you know, this guy is going to say things that is going to be favorable or in favor of the liberal agenda. So let's leave this stupid moron. I cannot even, you know, because he's nothing but an anti-Trump lunatic. Okay, he's part of American Hollywood pedophile movement, because, you know, a lot of white liberals in Hollywood are pedophile. Okay, they hate Trump basically, and this is just my theory. Why the hell American Hollywood actors, directors, and people hate Trump with a passion after he became president? Because prior to him becoming president, they loved him, because after Trump became president, after, you know, he became the commander-in-chief in America, Hollywood hated him with passion. Why? My theory is, you know, Hollywood is full of pedophiles, okay? Chrissy Teigen, for example, that model, and others, okay? These are pedophiles, and Trump stopped the supply of kid or children migrants to America. These child migrants in America are good farm supply for Hollywood pedophiles, Hollywood white liberal pedophiles. So let's get to the next video.
Passengers on a Manhattan-bound J train stunned as an Asian man gets hit repeatedly, then choked.
Oh, this is not right.
It's crazy, you know, like.
Okay, that's another one.
San Francisco business caught on
In San Francisco, California, one of the bluest cities. It's gonna rival New York, okay, as the bluest city in America.
flashing his gun. It's video you'll see only on ABC7. Tonight, he explains why he's taking matters into his own hands to defend Chinatown. Good evening, and thank you so much for joining us. I'm Dion Lim. That dramatic video is from outside the Golden Gate Fortune Cookie Factory. I spoke exclusively to the co-owner tonight.
The guy just pushed like this real quick. He did the first push real hard.
This brazen daytime assault happened Saturday afternoon outside
all done in
Chinatown's
daytime.
iconic Golden Gate Fortune Cookie Factory, where the man in the black sweatshirt singles out one of about a dozen tourists and attacks. We blurred the man's face because he has not been arrested.
The guy asked the black guy why he pushed me. He said, oh, because...
Even this Asian reporter is afraid to identify the attacker's race or skin color. Again,
2 blocks away.
because
what
of
makes this
political
story remarkable
correctness.
is what unfolds next. Co-owner of the factory, Kevin Chan, seen in the gray sweatshirt with green sleeves, immediately steps in and lifts up his shirt to reveal
I have a concealed carry that needs to protect my business.
just the sight of it is enough for the man in the black sweatshirt to leave.
guess he's kind of scared too, so he don't even go.
Just notice or observe that the Asian guys in that place in this video are afraid. They're afraid to interfere. They would like to interfere. They would like to stop the guy, but it's America, and it's the bluest city in California, San Francisco, and they don't want to stop.
Tourism in Chinatown was
they're
down
afraid to stop the
35%
black
before
attacker.
the pandemic. Once COVID hit, business went down for some as much as 90%.
Where you guys come from?
While some tourists are coming back, as we witnessed Sunday night.
This is the original machine.
Okay, we're gonna discuss why the hell, they are afraid or they were afraid to stop black guys. It's either they're afraid, they're actually afraid, or they just don't care.
Crime Stoppers hotline at
What you cookies? They are 1956.
Kevin can't afford for incidents like this to scare visitors away.
You think the people come? They will have that impression. They were blaming the Chinese community.
Kevin decided not to file a police report, afraid it would go nowhere.
Alright, so we've seen enough so far about anti-Asian climate in America. So if you notice, I kept repeating the trend that there is always one group of attacker, okay? Black attackers with Asian victims in broad daylight in solid Democrat cities and states, and nobody helped. Nobody would like to help. It's either they don't care or they're afraid. And 5, the fake news media refuse to identify the attacker's race or identity or skin color, ethnicity. Why? There's only one reason: because of political correctness.